fourth estate. We're so grateful that up to now you are still with us, despite the hard terrain we're going in and the environment we're leading. For me, this campaign has helped us so that you, the people of the press and the people of Uganda, know which country we have called Uganda and how our people are suffering and how some are better off than others. You will notice that since we started from Uyupe, Buvuma, went to Kamuli, Buyende, Iganga, Jinja, now we came to this region and we started with Toroko, Bundibujo, now we went to Kasese. From Kasese we have been to Kamwenge and Fort Portal now. Yesterday we were in Chenjojo and Kagadi. You have all noticed this country, how it looks like. Our people are really in dire need of help. Poverty is on increase. People have resorted to living a life where they have given up. They are living in hopelessness. And that this country should make them look better so that they can even contribute to the production of this country and have better life. So that is why I am happy with you, the members of the forces. I hope as you are traveling around, you are seeing how the world, this country is, and it will need all of you to talk about it. Which country are we living in? And it is time, that's why our manifesto comes in really handy to address the issues we are seeing. If you look at what people are trying, you get small businessmen and women, small businesses. People are struggling, but the environment they are in cannot allow them to grow. So they are in the vicious circle of poverty and remaining down there. The taxation is not segregative because our tax system should be segregative, whereby low-income earners or low businesses are treated different from big businesses, from middle businesses, and how do we help these small businesses become middle and eventually become big? And that's where we feel that this country needs a total person who can really look at it in a perspective of making it develop. We are certain the country has the capacity, has the potential, but the only thing is that government is not coming in to harness this potential of this country, of the people of Uganda, to move up. We went in the agricultural sector and saw how people have been growing tea, how people are growing coffee, how people are trying to do potatoes, mention it. But when you ask them, they're talking of market, storage, what. So these are things we want to address. So as I stated at the beginning, our manifesto comes in to address these issues, and those villages need total support. The border economy needs total support, and we have had the border stories. They borrow money, and when they are paying money 4 times what they borrowed. In short, one border buys the price you pay for 4 borders. This cannot be allowed, and the people you are really allowing to suffer that lower end is you, the government. You shouldn't allow that, because there are some people who are coming to take advantage of the disparate people, class of people, to really make them their slaves. They are, in fact, slaves, and at the end, they leave them even in worse positions. We have had stories where youth have sold land which their parents gave them, have gone to borrow elsewhere, sold this at home to come and pay for the loans, but they never finish. That shows that this country, we have not done analysis properly to see what can make it move. And the border economy has to be there, has to grow. And that's why we have a policy to deal with the border, and these are the things which all of us have to agree. What have we put in place in our manifesto, and what we need to do? So the border sector, if you compute well, how much is the cost of a border, where it is coming from? How much is tax here? How much is profit on each border? You will discover very well that the cost of a border, a black motorcycle to come to Uganda cannot go beyond 2.4 million shillings. Not beyond 2.4 million shillings. But because the costs are so embedded with taxes and whatever, it goes to 6 million, others up to beyond. Then when they rent the boys and the girls, at the end they work for those people and make them poorer. That's why we have taken a deliberate decision in this campaign. And in our manifesto, we were saying one of the pillars we want to address is that the government will bring borders and give to the youth who want borders at 2 million shillings. And these 2 million shillings will be paid over a period of 5 years. And each year that means the youth will be paying only 400,000 to avoid our youth being exploited. And then when the border sector grows, that economy grows, they will graduate, they will buy trucks, they will buy minibuses, they will invest in shops, and the economy grows, expands, other than having a few people exploiting them. Now, why are we saying that? So now, in 5 years, if you are going to pay 400,000, it means you will be paying an average of about 1,100 shillings per day. Now, why do we kill youth who are trying to survive and creating jobs for themselves by overtaxing, by over giving a certain individuals or certain companies to exploit them in the form of profits, excessive profits, why overcharging the interest rates of the high magnitude? So that sector, we're going to take a deliberate effort, and in our first year, we're going to have 1 million borders here in this country on the money we shall save on the 10 trillion. The 10 trillion which is being stolen everywhere, which we are going to block immediately from the thieves, and this 10 trillion, 7.2 trillion, which I've already explained, 100 million per year will go to a village level. The balance of 2.8 trillion, we're going to pick up from there 2.4 trillion to bring in 1 million motorcycles for the youth to ride. And this will continue until everybody has a border and whoever wants to ride, until that economy is, of course, it reaches saturation. There will be where it is saturated. And the people say, no, they now need another sector. Now, for the small businesses, and we need to have a deliberate effort. And that's why you see a mother has sold tomatoes for years and years, has never upgraded. You see, to upgrade, you live you upgrade by having more than one store, but they have lived on one store in the entire life. Sometimes they collapse, go back. They need to be supported. In this raw economy, we need to put seed money for our mothers to be who are dealing in raw business, our fathers who are dealing in raw business, the youth who are dealing in raw business. And when you put in this seed, it means you have to create an environment for them. Now, if we have those mothers who are doing such tomatoes, all government institutions should be able to support them first to be the biggest customers. The biggest customers. You tell the mothers, supply tomatoes to prison, supply tomatoes to police, supply tomatoes to schools, supply. This can be done. I don't know what has happened. The youth are unemployed because the government is giving contracts to foreigners. I have seen here there is no contractor on the roads which are locals. And yet, if you look at the road construction, it consists of aggregates, which stones are got here, water is here, the laborers are here, the drivers of trucks are here. What they bring in here, which you can see, are those trucks, the trucks which run on the road, and the tar. These ones are the ones you should realize the government look at how to bring it in and empower local people to really work. And if you give a local contract to a local person, the profits, the work which will be made will stay here. But the foreigners are picking everything. I don't know where our economists have gone. And that's why we're saying it's time to bring in this country a person who knows economics, who knows accountability, who knows the people of Uganda. Because I live in those areas. I have been a member of parliament for 25 years. I come from the raw ground, and that's what we have tried to do in Bugisu, and there's a big difference. And if we take power, we should really replicate this all over, like cooperative unions in the whole country should come back. Yeah, we're here in the Bunyoro. There was Bunyoro growers to cooperative union. I don't know where it is. There was Chitara. I don't know where it is. Kakumero. We don't know where it is. These are the things which we should be really supporting our people. But what happened? So you need somebody who has knowledge in cooperatives, who knows how poverty pains people to deal with this problem. So I have noticed, and I said, yes, we have to agree, as I stated earlier. We are not coming in this election with a grudge. We're not coming to which will hurt anybody. We're saying President Museveni has done what he could. We thank him. We cannot say other than, but we're saying no, it's time that we get an opportunity given to another person. And I can tell you, it's me the best person in this election who should be given an opportunity to change the country, to fight poverty. Poverty is not just lip service. Poverty must be yes, and poverty is a really painful thing. It is worse than sickness like malaria and all that, because when you're poor, you even feel sick, the body pain is everywhere. You are really sick. In fact, the sickness we're having in Uganda is basically because of poverty. Eh? When your wife calls you that man come and eat food, you may refuse to go to eat. You are thinking she's calling you to ask for money. Yet she's asking you to come and eat what? Food. It is too painful. For me, when I talk about it, is inside my heart, I feel the pain, and I can tell you that the best person to handle this is me. So I'm happy we have been with you on the track, and you have seen it for yourselves. You have seen how tea growers are suffering. And that's why for us in our manifesto, we say tea is money magnet. We need to make money magnet. Coffee is black gold. Cotton is white gold. And these are things we can do, work together and change this country. I look forward to continuing with you, despite the difficult terrain, but together we shall make it. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Two questions. One of them is this an oil-producing region. The projection is commercial production of oil might start mid-2026 or early 2027. So given the chance to lead this country, what are your plans for these people? How are these people, the locals in the Euro Southwest, going to benefit from the oil production of the commercial oil, given that it is them who are producing oil, it's their area that is producing that oil? Question number 2 is about the strategy that are going to use this time round. Because in 2021, the party performed really poor in this region. We barely made 1%. We barely got 1% of the votes in this region. In Kigali, for instance, got 0.31%. Kagadi got 0.7%. Moima, we got 0.65%. What is the strategy? What trick are you going to use this time to woo the voters to vote in your favor?
Thank you so much. One, I will start with oil. You see, if you recall, when Siruma wrote a book, is oil a curse or a benefit to people of Uganda? I was one of those who was in Makerere to make a critic of his book. And on that day were me and General Salim Saleh. And of course, if you follow, I said where oil has benefited the people of that area is where government has known that oil is a benefit to the people, whereby you get the oil and invest it for the sectors which produce, and also you make sure that the oil is also for the future generations. So that when you make resources out of it, there should be something to be put aside for future generation, because one day the oil will get what? Exhausted. So now the issue of oil being here in 26, 27, as you stated, it has been a story from day one. There was a time when they said it was going to be 20 something, 17 or something. It has been continuing. I'm not so sure if it is coming. But if it comes during our time, which it will, I want to tell you that oil will be used for, first, the beneficiaries of that oil revenue are the locals. That's why if you read our manifesto, we're saying If you look at tourism, it should be put, if there's a tourist thing in a certain area, the culture institutions, the people local there should be the first what? Beneficiaries. Before they should be the first beneficiaries, then the state. And the state means when you get that from there, it is used in other parts, like the whole sector in the country. Now, meanwhile, also, oil, as was saying, if it is a revenue which we shall get here, first, the contracts, which should be in the area sector, those which can be local resources, should be provided to the people, the local area people here, before it leaves to other areas, so that the area here grows. Eh? And of course, we should even invest more. There will be more business here, in the sense that there will be people working in the oil refineries. You need accommodation, you need food, you need the entertaining area, mention it. So you need to invest in that infrastructure so that when the people come, they do come and use those facilities. But the people who should invest in those infrastructure, like hotels, like entertainment areas, should be the locals. So the locals should be helped by government to make sure that they have resources to invest there and they benefit in that area, rather than bringing foreigners or people running from other areas of this country to come here first. They can come, yes, but first and foremost, you should have a deliberate effort that the locals are beneficiaries. Now, for me, oil should not be a curse. Oil should be really something which is God given, and when it gets out there, it should be used to the benefit of the people of Uganda. All the resources you should get should be applied to productive sectors, other than putting them to unproductive sectors. I am very sure most of the oil, I think, must have been some of what people have got money in government has got money in advance, and the current government hoping to get oil so that they pay the loans. That's not the best thing we should do. We should not pledge a very good asset, which you have not got in advance, because the people now started spending extravagantly, the leakage is too much because they're expecting oil. That will not work with my government. You see, we should be there knowing that all sources must be applied in a very systematic and protective way for the people of Uganda. And I will tell you that the people of Bunyoro will be the beneficiaries. Wherever oil is, they're the first. I come from Mount Elgon. Now, in our area, we grow coffee. We have bamboo. You have heard about Malewa, which is bamboo. What happened is in our area, of course, the people who sell Malewa are basically from up there, and I'm happy that everybody likes eating them. Now, if we people just were not given an opportunity to deal in their Malaya, there would be nothing to benefit. Our coffee is Arabic coffee. It is now the highest priced coffee. Of course, on the international market, we're not getting the premium price because Kenyans are the ones who have used their government. Kenyan government has made sure they market their coffee. It is now at a premium. I will also make sure coffee is at a premium, so that the person when he sells coffee from Uganda is at a premium. Now, what Kenyan government is doing, the Kenyan people, they are coming to get our coffee from here and go and use ours for blending theirs, so that they export. We're the losers. So there it means the farmer at the end of the day is a loser. So I can tell you the coffee sector here would be one of my areas to look at, and look at manifesto, cotton for the benefit of the lower farmer, so that we cut out these middlemen. Middlemen, you see, a middleman has not, is just a middleman. He has not put in energy. He has come with little capital. He finishes off this poor farmer so that he takes all this profit. Then also the one who is the final product takes all this profit. We must make sure we reduce this profit so that the farmer comes from here to here. They need to invest for the final consumers. Of course, what has been our main problem in this sector that you have raised is interest rates. If interest rates are not capped, are not managed, and you know the one who is bringing us a problem in interest is government, because we're having a budget deficit. So we go with treasury bills, we go with bonds. So we demand the money which is in the banking sector. Now a bank will be happier to lend the government than lend Nadaala Mafabi. So now when they want to lend you, they say you're risky, they put the interest rate what? High. Government must stop going to the commercial banks to borrow, because you must have a budget which you should really be able to fund than going to the local market to get treasury bills and whatever. And what will happen now, the money will be in the banking sector, the people will be able to get money at a lower rate. And that's one of the things we should do. That's why we want cooperative bank back. We need an agriculture bank to deal with agriculture, and that's the area we are looking at and focus seriously. I can tell you there will be a lot of change, so I may have gone far beyond what you have asked. The other point you are raising is about we want to thank the 0.63%, the 1%. That was good. If you said we had got zero, it was dangerous. We are very happy. There are people who believed in it. We still have a case to deal with. The issue we are raising now, which we have been raising, I am sure there is now awareness. Now, whenever you're going there, people are saying, hey, we may have error. Now, why are we going to use our fortunes in this area? It's simply we have a good manifesto which is implementable. I am coming with experience. I am not coming that is somebody who is going to try. Me, I have been in the sector dealing in economics. I've done in taxation. I've been advised governments, and those who have taken my advice are better. It's only ours which is very stubborn. So which I'm asking people of them to give me an opportunity to implement this and they see the difference. Poverty cuts across. It is the one which is our main big problem. So will this area trust us? I'm sure they will trust us. So I'm sure we're going to move our fortune from that lower percentage to a higher percentage. And I believe if they are really genuine to themselves that they want to leave poverty, the better person among the presidential candidates to vote is me. So I am asking the people of this area, the Toro region, Moro region, Western Uganda, that you have the best candidate in Nadaala Mafabi. We are not counting, and I want also to repeat again, there is no witch hunting. There is no hatred. We have said we support, we thank President Museveni for whatever he has done. And we're saying it is an opportunity that you went to start, you studied, you brought, there was insecurity here, you're an expert in guns, you have settled in the insecurity problems. Now we have the poverty, which is worse now, which is now bringing insecurity in homes and whatever. Now the expert in that area is Nadaala Mafabi. So give me an opportunity and I'll be there and serve this country better. So I'm asking everybody to become my campaign manager, my campaign agent, to look after that vote, and they will see the results. What's in 5 years? 5 years only. And of course, one of the things we're even going to do as soon as we get power, we're going to deal with our constitution. Article number 4 talks about having the constitution in local languages. We're going to translate it in local languages so that everybody knows there is rights and obligations. Then the Article 20 which talks about freedom of association. You must join any association you want, whether you want which political party you're free, whether you want which business you can do, which other person you want to work together. And you have freedom of speech. This is what we're going to promote. And we're going to say term limit reinstated, age limit reinstated. So these are things to say that Nana will come with a change after 5 years, it doesn't perform. You will be having an opportunity to vote him out because the powers of the president are going to see us cut down so that the people of Uganda have the power of a president because the president is a servant for the people of Uganda. So give me an opportunity, see change.
Yes, one of the biggest challenges in your situation is land grabbing. I do not know what solution you come with as FDC and the presidential candidate. I believe your team must, especially the police, and lead not such places, but also to get what solutions you have for the community, especially the evolution and something.
Land grabbing is criminal. The law, the constitution of Uganda does not allow you to take anybody's assets by force. And that's what we're going to do. So those who have been their land, who have been grabbed, will be given back their land. And the compensation, there are areas where government, let me give an example, where government took your assets forcefully or made you lose, the government will have to compensate. So of course, like one of them, these cooperatives, which lost their assets during the war, they should get. We've talked about war claims, the Teso, the lost cows, the Lange, even the Bugisu, the West Nile, actually, even the Karamojos, as much as you call them cattle riders, they also lost their cattle. They need also to be compensated. So a land, anyone who lost his property will be given back. And we're saying land grabbing is unacceptable under our government. People should own property. If you want it, you must negotiate, but not come and grab.
Thank you very much. Yesterday, while in Change talked about the border protestation, and you also speak about it now. What you said yesterday was that your government plans to give this sector a chance for contracts to supply what you call police food. I trust if given the mandate, you want to put the fuel on the job. So thanks to
just want to know how your government plans to do this. Then in Kasese, you talk to people who suffer bad side, say, the also is also right.
I think well, what you are raising is that on funding. I am yesterday saw uh, an article that political parties get 10 billion. 1.4 billion was for no withheld. You are aware the money they give us is shared according to the number of MPs you have. So the whole of that money, about 90 something percent, goes to NRM. I get it. So you could find that we, the remaining parties, could be sharing about maybe 700 to 800 million. So you can see how much little money we get from Nani. So, but when you put an article like that, everybody will say, oh, maybe FDC has got money. FDC could get maybe 700 million out of it. Now, when it gets that, it is the part which is all over the country, and it needs to manage the offices, to manage the operation costs, and that's why you pay salaries and wages. So, and nomination of candidates. So that's where. So what you have raised were a problem. Now, NRM has two sources. NRM is no different from NRM and the government. So they get the money from government. Two, the second point is when they get that, I'm sure 9.2 billion is theirs. 9.2 billion is theirs. But they're still demanding money. Now that shows the people of Uganda that now it is important to not look at money as a purpose. Because if you're looking for money, then NRM. Now, if you want their country to be run better, the party which will not take your money is FDC. It is now that's why I'm going to come to how we're running the campaign. Because these ones are having first over 9 billion from electoral government. They have that attachment to from government also they are getting, but also the president of Uganda is a candidate. He's using all the facilities of the what? Of the president. You can see also he's using helicopter for us who are on the road. Mention it. It clearly shows there's a problem in Uganda. So what do we want to deal with before I come and answer them? We must look at where is your taxpayers' money going? And if you don't stop it now, you will continue to what? Suffer. So your taxpayers' money is being wasted on NRM elections. That's why you don't have medicine. That's why you're not having roads. That's why you're not having what? Now, the law even says during an election like this, the political parties which are participating are supposed to get the money equally, but that has not been honored. It has not been honored, as all of you are aware. So we are in need. So when you see us here, it is now people who are trying to come in and put in help. Chikonyebo will be Izika, you will put in the fear. Paul will be Izika, will put in the fear. Wherever they are here, they are there running it. So we want to thank those who are trying to support the team as we are going. And if anybody has the resources, we could also ask kind of give us and they support us. So otherwise, it is now on individual members of the party who are trying to fight for the survival. And that's why you can see those vehicles running. And if you have noticed, they live very simple life. You are seeing whenever we come, we look for not relative fair accommodation. We just put our heads. And we have called on our regional offices that if you have a home, we can come and sit there in the night, put some beds there, and we put on our heads, and tomorrow we get up because this is a struggle we are in. Now, fundraising is a continuous process, and if anybody has the resources, we have our party account in Centenary Bank and DFCU. Please support us. But we know the people we're talking to, the village there. You saw the borders, what you are seeing there, they are coming on their own, most of them. You had when we were in Chenjojo, the man said, we have organized ourselves.
We are being stopped from accessing areas where we should be. This has happened ever since the campaign kick-started on the 29th of last month, and it's continued everywhere that we go, including yesterday where there was a barricade by the police and the army, stopping us going to a scheduled rally in Kagadi. We have protested to the Electoral Commission and would like to reiterate our position that we should be allowed to go to venues organized by our ground supporters unimpeded by the police. Our expectation is that the police force is supposed to provide security for our candidates, his team, and for who.
See, we have gazetted like now. We're going to districts. Those districts where we're going, let us say police, that's where we should be there. You have no authority to determine for us where to go. We are the one who determine our what? Chart. And we would like police to be told that, please, work with us and know our chart. We are not coming in this with war. We want you to be real organized security officers. Why are we saying this? That's why even we know some of your overzealous. If you read our manifesto, it's the one going to answer all your problems, even the security organizations. We have plans to build houses for you. We have plans to pay your salaries better. We have plans to ensure that your children study for free from primary up to university. So this is the only best manifesto. If even the police should have really come out to support us. Now, why are you stopping us? Why are you misdirecting us? Is wrong. We want to tell you we are not disrupting anything. Nothing. We are peaceful people. We know the law. We are law-abiding citizens, and we shall follow it up to the end. I request you kindly to be fair to us. And the Electoral Commission, which we are talking about, we need you to be fair, be really a referee who is not biased, like when you have some cases of biasness, which we're seeing in Bukedea. I don't know, you have heard about Bukedea, whereby Electoral Commission is removing people from the case. If I've applied to be transferred to Hoima City, and you believe I should not go to Hoima City, you take me back from where I came from. You don't delete me. You know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you don't tell me, I chop off your head, you're not, surely that's being unfair. But all those in life will fall it out, but we believe this will be resolved amicably.
Okay, we hit the road, gentlemen and ladies.
Maybe in Uganda,
That one would be easy.
that's okay. And it's just a PDP. Program so tight. Canada Kumbela United in the United Color already gradually supposed to be in the district. Being at what about 12 in the Pakumbisi to Flava.
Recording it?
Kandi tubona kira bitatu tukoze program tight tugezaako okulaba nti tutuuke buli mu district naye oba bino bimu tulina okwogera ne Electoral Commission erabe nti so that babeere bulungi okampaininga buli mu district ate babeeremu n'ennaku za kuwummula. So ekyo kirabye naye tugenda kukikolako naye njagala kugamba abo abantu b'Ekibaale birese opportunities nyingi. Amahoteli galina okubaawo, enguudo zirina okuba ennungi, abantu gye bazannyira balina okuba bulungi, gye banywera n'omwenge gulina okuba recreation erina okubeerawo nyingi, ne business kati egenda kudda. n'abaana baffe abasoma abagala emirimu bagenda kuba abaana abavuga emmotoka n'ebirala tubulaba opportunity ziri wano nyingi tugenda kuziteeka mu nkola tulabe nti abantu bafuna mu kintu kyabwe. Njagala okubagamba nti gavumenti erina okuyamba abantu b'eno b'ekitundu kino bazimbe amahoteri bainvestinge mu transport sector bainvestinge mu recreation sector. Abantu bwe banaaba bazeno baagala hotels baagala gye bagenda okuliira obulamu baagala entambula n'emmotoka zirina okubeera eno nyingi ezitambuza abantu era abantu bwe bajja gye batambuliramu. Bintu bingi biri wano n'emirimu gya kulabika. No FDC manyi egoberera amateeka. Twagala kugoberera amateeka wakaffe paka wetutuuka. Sikande tieka wa FDC gye bajjemu ne wanuupu n'omulala bali basatu. Naye kiki kye twegamba tetufuddeyo bakandidate ki oba muntu ki. Abantu balina right yabo okusalawo gye bagenda kwewandiikisa oba okulondera. Electoral Commission yenyewe yafulumenti abantu abaagala okukyusa batransferinge bakikole. Bakigamba bennyini abantu ne batandika okukyusa. Kati bantu bwe bakyusa ne bagenda mu bitundu ebirala. Kati gwe Electoral Commission bw'obanga olaba oti toyagala bagende olina okubaza gye bakola ki gye bava. Naye togamba oti mbasazeemu. Awo ekiraga nti mukama waffe bya mukama yasoma amateeka justice wa court of appeal baba byakola byebe tebiraga nti amateeka agakozesa bulungi. Kati ffe twagala kulaba amateeka gakole omuntu alina alina obuyinza kalulu ke ate alina okusalawo kyayagala. Bw'oba oli ogamba article 29 ya constitution egamba freedom of movement, freedom of speech. Kati nze sazeewo envudde Mbale nze Hoima kati lwaki ogamba sigenda kyoba olaba kyogamba n'omukulonda amateeka likkiriza okukyusa wayagala okubeera. Kati bw'obeera oli member parliament singa nzija wano Hoima City okwesimbawo wano bajja kugamba tulina akaluluko wano mwenyewe tujja kulonda naye abantu bajja kunonda naye mwenyewe tujja kukola ki tujja kweronda kuba akaluluko kaliwa esirumpu ekyo kyokka nzizaayo naye okkiriza. Naye njagala nsaba bamateeka kimanye nti singa ne President Museveni alina obuyinza yandigambye bano boona saagala beesimbewo nze kangenda anopose. Alina sente alina amagye alina all set operative systems naye yakkiriza ne twesimba tuli bameka 8. President Museveni bw'akkiriza abantu 8 twesimbewo katugambe 7 bamweyungeko bamwesimbeko kyekikulaga nti agoberedde amateeka. Speaker of Parliament lwaki tayagala nze kino kinti Speaker of Parliament yayisa amateeka ndowooza olaba Parliament bekola amateeka bino byakola bikulaga nti ndowooza kiriwo kizibu mu Uganda lwaki tweyagala ndowooza kifuna.